Is this thing on? Hello? Hey, good morning everyone. It's Mike from Finding Fish. Welcome to Cuba and welcome to CAYO CRUZ. Now, right now, it's 9:20 in the morning. The sun is just breaking. It's been windy and cloudy since I've been here. I told you I'd do an update video, and here we go. This is exactly what I know. This country's been ravaged by blackouts, rolling blackouts, Rafael, and now an earthquake. And I'm sorry about the wind if this sounds muddled. I am sorry about that, but I want to make these videos right on the beach so you guys can see exactly what's happening. I got off a call this morning with the Tourism Board of Cuba, based out of Toronto. I had a conversation with a man named Lesnar Gomez, and this is what I know. When it comes to the earthquake that has happened in the lower part of Cuba, it hasn't affected tourism. That is a 100% fact given from the Tourism Board of Cuba. That is not from me, that is from them. I am in CAYO CRUZ right now. I didn't feel anything, but then again, I am on the beach, so I wouldn't have. Water is still functioning fine. Not one issue when it comes to power, and not one issue when it comes to the earthquake in this area or in tourism, so I've been told. Things are still functioning 100% for tourism down here in Cuba. So, you know, if you're reading the headlines, if there's news feeds out there saying something, well, I'm here right now and not one issue has come up about the earthquake. The only reason I know about the earthquake is because I was on my phone yesterday morning and I noticed that in the feed saying that there was breaking news coming out of Cuba. So of course, like we all do, we want to go and find out what the heck is going on, especially if you have, hey, good morning, if you have upcoming trips. Everybody wants to know because everyone is unsettled because of all the issues that have been coming out of Cuba and that have been plaguing Cuba. So, you know, that's why I've been down here so often, and here we go again. This is exactly what Cuba doesn't need right now. But like, I'm down here and I've spoken with a lot of people, Coral Level, Esmeralda, and the White Sands, and not one person has been affected by anything down here, to be truthful with you. Now, Hurricane Rafael is finally dissipated, but the winds have still been pretty significant, and the waves, especially yesterday, had been really big. I was kind of making a video for another video and I was showing the people getting crashed by waves yesterday, but that seems to slowly have dissipated. There's still waves, but they're not as big today as they were yesterday. But it brought in a lot of seaweed last night, and this is the most amount of sea sargassum, I believe it's sargassum, that I've witnessed in all my travels to Cuba. And down by Coral Level, there's a significant amount. I would imagine they'll start to clean that up, because this area here yesterday, they started raking it and getting it cleaned up, and then again, here we are again, and there is seaweed, but it looks like the water's still a bit brown, maybe about 15 to 20 feet out, but it looks like the rest of that'll probably come in, and hopefully the sargassum issue will have dissipated within the next 2 or 3 days. That's what I'm thinking. Now, last week when I was in Veradero, the winds had started to pick up, and Jenny and I were out in the ocean, and I could feel the current. I could feel like the current pulling me down. And that's kind of strange because I come to Cuba all the time and I haven't felt that vicious of a current. So yeah, people have been asking, is the ocean okay to go into? There's a red flag today. People are still bobbing in it today. I haven't been in it today, but it looks like you're being pushed towards the land, which is amazing. So, but I can't speak to going out and feeling the current because I haven't been in there. Okay, now when it comes to food items, at the resort that I've been here so far, I've noticed the main thing I've noticed is there's no eggs. That is a constant at this resort. And I had a great conversation with the general manager. He's from Dominican, and we had a conversation one night during the opening of a buffet, because I'm always inquisitive. I always want to know so I can give it to you. And this is what I was told. This resort and the sister resort, the Coral Level, he manages both, and he was telling me that he has contracts, signed contracts with specific vendors here in Cuba and in Europe, especially in Spain. And so what he says is, when it comes to food and food products, when he gets a shipment, and they get shipments basically every day for consumables that they go through, say like flour, coffee, milk, sugar, eggs. Sometimes if those products aren't on the truck, they can't offer it. But what he said to me is they put everything out. They don't hold anything back. When products come in, he doesn't want them sitting around. He wants them out. They're not saving it for another day. They put everything out as it comes. So you get to see exactly in real time what is happening. The issue is if there's a disruption either coming from Europe or in Cuba, and shipments are delayed, or the vendor just doesn't have it, well, then that means we're not getting it. But I know it sounds complicated, but White Sands, which is right there, they might have eggs and our resort might not. It's not because they don't have it on the island. It's because that they have different contracts with different vendors. So their vendor this week might have specific items, but we might not have those specific items. Like right now, I noticed even this morning we didn't have basic fruits, didn't even have a banana. So, you know, items like that just come and go depending on what the vendors have to offer. When I was just in Veradero last week, I did notice that the buffet didn't have eggs, I believe, the entire time that I was there. So, you know, sometimes people say, oh, it's just, you know, I think we just have to keep in mind it's selection, it's vendors, and it's proximity, and sometimes just things get disrupted. And I don't even know if we should call it a shortage anymore. I think it just should be called the reality of traveling to Cuba. Items just always come and go, and if you're fixated on one or two items, that could be detrimental maybe to your upcoming trip. But has it affected me? Absolutely, not one bit. Not one bit. Today they had yogurt. So there you go, you know, like they had yogurt, they had a great cheese selection, and they had a great meat selection. Maybe sometimes that's not a North American selection, but then again, you got to really think that Cuba is a mix of Canadians and Europeans and South Americans that travel here, and people from all over the world. So they can't just focus on one demographic in one region. They actually have to focus on many different regions to keep absolutely everyone happy. But that being said, I think resorts really, they play on their strengths, and one of their strengths here in the buffet is going to be the chef that looks after the bread, the pastries, and the pizza. It's been outstanding the entire time. And they even had lasagna last night, and I don't eat lasagna, and I didn't take a camera to film it, but their lasagna last night was fantastic as well. I got a little piece. They've had chicken and pork pretty much every day here as well. So if you're coming here, there is a variety of food. Sometimes just things always come and go. But they have been making pancakes here, and they've been putting toppings in their pancake like cheese and bacon and ham. So, you know, they do have those products, and they did have bacon today as well. Lots of bread, and consistently they've had butter, but I think butter was missing today. So that's kind of the food that I know right now. Now let's talk about resort running water. Hot and cold, pressure, toilet, not one issue. I've had plenty of hot water, I've had plenty of running water, and the toilet's been constantly working. I've had showers in the morning, at night, just to double check, and this resort has not had one issue when it comes to plenty of hot water. When it comes to bottles of water, I've been consistently getting one bottle of water in my room every day. My mini fridge has been completely empty. I haven't had one cerveza or one beer in it, but then again, that's just the reality, that's what it is. If I want a beer or a cerveza, I can quickly go down to the 24 hours, or I can quickly come down to the beach bar. This resort is 5 years old, so it's a newer resort, but it does have maintenance issues, like all resorts. When you're in the weather like this in the tropics, resorts can weather very quickly. Paint can peel, paint can chip, concrete slowly deteriorates. Life happens because you're being bombarded by seawater 24 hours a day. And the ocean is relentless, and so is the weather down here. I think that covers pretty much all the basics that people constantly ask. There is one other question that people do ask. It's safety. And when it comes to safety, you might just have to elaborate on what you mean by safety. Do you mean safety as a tourist at a resort? If you're meaning that or going off the resort, this is what I'm going to say. I totally feel safe here. If there's an issue, if there's someone that drinks too much and gets kind of out of hand, there's security here. Do you ever come here and you feel that there's something not right? You're feeling something abnormal? Talk to reception. Just tell them right away. I need some help. I have an issue with I have a safety issue. Can you please have someone come and find me? And they will address it. These guys have security. You might not see them, but listen, I witnessed it before. They will come out of the woodwork and they will resolve your issue quickly for you. Their utmost concern is having people that are safe and happy at resorts. That's what they want to do. They want people to be safe and they want people to be happy. And I know the managers here, and they've been going out of their way to make sure that people and guests are happy and satisfied with room conditions, things that are functioning, working properly, and doing their best to accommodate people wherever they need to do. Like, that is their job. That's what they get paid to do. They get paid to keep people as happy as possible with everything that they have at their disposal. They're not magicians. If they can't offer something, they can't give it to you. But they will do their best to accommodate any reasonable requests. And like I always say, I'm not being paid to come here to tell you to make this video. I'm not being paid. That is me. My name is Finding Fish. I'm a YouTuber. I'm a travel vlogger. I'm doing a major series right now in Cuba, and I'm almost done this series. Once in a while I'll see a negative comment saying, oh, you're promoting, you're being paid to come down to a resort. No resort is ever paying me to come here. I paid $799 to have this vacation. Did they upgrade me to a VIP status so I could go make a video at the core level? Yes, they did. But I'll state that in the video. I didn't pay for that, but nor am I staying there. But they did grant me access so I can go into a room and I could walk around freely. But I asked for that. It wasn't granted to me. But they understand and they realize what I do, and so they want to give me free access, because not only does it help me, but it also helps them, because I like to go and show the great things that resorts have. You know, that's a byproduct of nature, so that stuff comes and goes, but you know, a clean pool, clean rooms, ocean views, what they have at the buffet, a good cappuccino, that's what I capitalize on. I want to show the great things at resorts, so when you're coming here on your upcoming trip, you already know you have a good headspace, because you already know what you're getting into when you come down here. I'm not coming to a resort to pick it apart, because I know the country that I'm in, and I always travel in the country I'm in, not the country I want it to be. So when I'm coming down to Cuba, I already know that there's going to be fluctuations of food quality and food amounts when I'm down here. I already know that because I travel down here so often, and I make the videos and I share it with you. Do I get great enjoyment out of a great cappuccino in the morning? Absolutely. Do I get disappointed if they don't have like Serrano coffee? Yeah, sometimes I do. But I have to roll with the punches, because sometimes it is what it is. When you pay $799, or you pay $659 for 3 days, or you pay $1,000 for a 7-day at a higher end resort in different times of the year. Items always come and go when you come to Cuba, and that is just the reality. I don't even think I want to call it a shortage anymore. It's just the Cuban reality, and everyone just needs to get their head wrapped around it, because once you do, and the faster you do, the better time you're gonna have when you come here. Just like this massive cloud that just rolled in. I can't control that, but it's not gonna affect me, because I'm having a good time anyway. Anyway, that's your quick morning update from CAYO CRUZ. I'm having a great time here, to be honest with you. I've met a lot of subscribers. I've met subscribers from Belarus. They recognize me. I met a guy this morning. He came from the Czech Republic, had to fly to Germany, catch a flight to CAYO COCO from had to catch a flight to Toronto, then flew down to CAYO COCO just to get here. It took him 2 days to get here. He recognized me, he loves the show, wanted to come up and say good morning to me. You know, like, there's a lot of people that travel from all over the world that come to Cuba because it's on people's bucket lists. I know it's in our backyard as Canadians. Sometimes we take it for granted, but when people see the texture of this sand, the color of the ocean, it's mesmerizing. And in Russia, in Belarus, in Germany, in Spain, they don't have Cuba in their backyard like most of us Canadians do. So sometimes we do take it for granted, especially for me because I fly out of Toronto so often, so I'm constantly getting the deals. And sometimes when the deals are 650 bucks, 700 bucks, and I'm only coming for 4 or 5 days, that's why I love making those videos. This week, like I said, I'm paying 800 bucks and I'm still having a great time. It doesn't matter what the price is, it's a mindset. I can have a great time at any price point, at any resort, but that's just the way I am. Anyway, I made a lot of subscribers. I just want to say thank you to everyone that does subscribe, that follows the channel, that sends me the questions. You keep watching, you love the Sunday episodes. I know people are probably back home right now in Canada. It is Sunday morning because I'm going to make this video for the upcoming Sunday. And I wish I had my cappuccino, but I'm going right after this video. Anyway, I'm thinking about doing a live feed if you're interested in that, maybe at night, once in a while. I can do a live feed to answer any upcoming questions that you have. You can say hello, and that might be a good option for finding fish once in a while. If you're interested in t-shirts, I just got a new shipment. They're coming shortly. I made some colors of Cuban cabs, like washed out pinks, greens, and turquoises, a Cuba edition. Once those shirts are gone, they're gone for good. Anyway, that is my update video. CAYO CRUZ, cloud just set in, on the beach. Water temperature is beautiful. It's getting a little windy, but that's just life down here in Cuba. If you like this video, like I always say, like and subscribe. I hope this helped you out. Leave a comment, leave a like, share it, and I'll see you in the next video.